easier. Will this ever get
That's 1 year daily make video on why I don't like Windows 11. I don't like Windows 11 because of what they're adding into it, because it's like very bloated and stuff. I mean bloated, they added a bunch of telemetry. It's always been in there since 10. I mean, I've used Windows all my life, even through school, and I'm on Linux Mint now. I probably should have switched sooner, but I've tried Linux before, back in 2023 and all throughout 2024 and 2025 on the VM, and that was Ubuntu, Kali, and now recently I tried it I tried Linux Mint on a VM, and then I decided I really liked it, and that's the PC I'm recording this on right now. My laptop that has Linux Mint on it with the KDE desktop. I didn't install it with this. I have another USB. I don't have it with me. It's somewhere in here. Oh, whatever. I'm not gonna look for it, but it's somewhere in this pile of stuff. But like, I have a bunch of Linux installs on here with Ventoy, and I have CassioOS on that desktop. I use that as a Steam machine now. To play any other game with my controller, of course, and a keyboard connected to it. I got like 2 keyboards, so this keyboard and then that keyboard. It's probably more convenient just to use one keyboard, but it's a separate desktop. But yeah, I don't like Windows 11 because of the telemetry and the Copilot being added to everything, and the updates breaking stuff. Trust me, it has broke stuff on my side before. It also bricked my GPU before, because it kept switching back to the basic drivers. I had to reinstall the drivers, the GPU. So it bricked my GPU. It broke my freaking File Explorer when I had Windows 11 on that desktop. And overall, it's overall spyware. And I made video on OneDrive. I also don't like OneDrive, but it's also in the side of this as well. And you can't even make a local account with, well, you can make a local account with this. There's so many workarounds, but like, you have to use Microsoft account, and if you do that, you're gonna have an encryption key on your Microsoft account, so like to unlock the BitLocker, because sometimes the BitLocker will show up out of nowhere. Sometimes it will show up if you're tampering with it. I don't know, it will show up out of nowhere, and if you forget the password to your account, your Microsoft account, you can't unlock you can't go past the BitLocker, and you need special tools to get the key from the TPM chip. Also, this isn't supported on older hardware, so like Microsoft wants you to throw away your older PCs as well. Just put Linux Mint on it, or any light version of Linux. Well, back your files up first, and then you can put Linux on it. Alright? If you're having so many problems with Windows 11, you can go to 10. If you don't like, but like, you could go to Windows 10, or you could not do that, and you could put Linux on it. Like, oh wait, you have so many problems? Put Linux on it. And I know it's a freaking learning curve, but eventually you guys are gonna have to learn how to use a terminal anyway. And yeah, making the switch to Linux was kind of hard because you have to relearn software, and you have to use a bunch of workarounds. If you're fine with using a workaround to run Windows applications on your Linux PCs, which is Vine and Proton. If you're gaming, if you want to do gaming, you use Steam. But you have the Heroic Launcher and the Good Old Games launcher as well, which you could use underneath Lutris and Heroic Launcher. But I mainly play through Steam anyways. But yeah, I have some Windows. Most of my stuff is Windows only, so I had to use Vine, and that's kind of the bad part. There's so many freaking Windows applications that haven't been ported, so I had to go through this compatibility layer. But yeah, this is not about Linux. This is about Windows. It sucks, and I don't know why Microsoft is forcing every PC to go to it. And I also but because, well, I know why, because of the data and all that, and your PC needs a TPM chip. Newsflash, there's ways you could get keys off of a TPM chip, like your encryption key. And also, if you get hacked, the hackers have access to all of our encryption keys as well. Because Microsoft has gotten hacked before, so you really want to force everyone to update? Yeah, just use Linux. And also, you'll thank me later once you upgrade to Linux. But yeah, this is about Windows. I'm getting off topic, but yeah, that's why it sucks. Telemetry, it forces you to use stuff even though you told it not to, and it forces you, even if you turn it off, it forces stuff on you. I could turn a setting off and you could turn the setting back on. Newsflash, Microsoft, I don't want OneDrive. I don't want any of this crap that you keep turning on in my freaking Windows settings. How many times do I have to tell you that? And yes, it is for the convenience of impressing the investors rather than the users. But yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'll use Windows for basic stuff. I have to use it to flash this, so I didn't completely switch over, but like, unless you want to play Fortnite, you can't even play Fortnite on Linux. You'll have to use Windows. But I don't want to use Windows, so, yeah. It's fine. If you guys like Windows 10, which majority of my friends are on Windows 11, sorry. If you guys like Windows 11 or Windows 10, then you could stick with that. I don't care, alright, if you like Windows 11 or Windows 10. Right? But like, you're wondering, but if you have freaking slow PC with all the telemetry and all this stuff bloated in, then you're gonna have a problem. And also, we've come to a point now to where people are making debloat tools to debloat Windows 11. And you know Microsoft's in deep shit when people are making stuff to debloat it. Newsflash is use Linux or something that actually, let you use your computer, because we want to use our computer. We don't want to talk to it. Oh yeah, and let's not forget they want to make a whole agentic experience by making an agentic computer that you can talk to. I don't want to talk to my computer. I want to use it with a mouse and keyboard, and I want the files on my PC. I don't want my files on a server with cloud storage. Aside from Google Drive, which I also use as well, and even that forces me to back up stuff too. I want my files on my freaking local drives, not freaking on a server, alright? And I had to deal with OneDrive's slow ass downloading for stuff, because I still paying for OneDrive and 365, right? And if I stop paying for that, it deletes my files. Why not keep the files on there? Nope, it deletes them. But yeah, this is about Windows 11. It sucks, and I don't know what Microsoft was thinking to make these sort of updates. And then also the Copilot. Not Copilot. Copilot sucks too. No, who the heck uses Copilot? I'm talking about Recall. Yeah, Microsoft says they got rid of Recall, but like I don't trust them. But they made the decision to get rid of it, but I'm like, it's probably still in Windows, and you really want to type your password into that computer if it has Windows 11 on it? Let's be honest. Which would you rather type your password into? Or login credentials into? A freaking Windows PC or a Linux PC or a Mac PC? Which one? You're probably gonna type it into Windows regardless. Alright, because Linux is hard to use. But it's not really once you get used to the terminal and also reading the forums and looking up how to fix stuff. But yeah, why am I getting off topic? This is more of this video is more of a freaking advertisement to switch to Linux. But this video is supposed to be about why Windows 11 sucks. To be honest, I keep talking more at Linux because Microsoft is more like making an advertisement to switch to Linux because of how bad they made Windows now, okay? I have Windows on my second drive, but I haven't touched that drive ever since. and I have transferred most of my files over to it, and that drive's like the biggest drive in this machine. I don't know how much space it has in it. Probably 4 terabyte, and this is probably 2 terabyte that I'm using right now. But yeah, Windows 11 sucks. That's all I have to say. That's 131 signing off.